If you're anything like me, you probably overthink all of the time and then self sabotage by overthinking. So, I want to talk about that today and explain maybe how I have learned to not overthink as much. Today is day 38 of posting every day until I'm famous and day 17 of 75 hard. So, let's get into it. Why do we overthink to begin with? Well, honestly, I think it's because we're looking for certainty, right? Like, I have a thing that I want to accomplish. In this case, I would like to become a famous streamer. And I know that there's ways to get there, and there's probably a best way to get there. So my mind is constantly focused on what's the best way we can get there? What can I do that would result in me getting there the fastest, the quickest, the easiest, the best, with the most whatever? I'm constantly thinking, how can I alter my strategy so that I am more successful? And I've realized that this is the exact wrong way you should think, okay? There is no certainty in the world. I'm sorry, you will not find it when it comes to something like this. If you're starting a business or trying to be a content creator or whatever, there's no way you can know if it'll work out. You simply can't know. You simply can't know if you're doing things the way they should be done the best. There's no way to know that. You won't know if you're on the best path or doing the best thing. There's just no way to know. So you have to surrender that. You have to surrender that desire for certainty, okay? And that's really hard to do because we as humans crave certainty. So how can you make up that little gap there and actually, make yourself feel better and stop overthinking? Well, I think the way to do that is very simply to have certainty in your actions. So you should bias yourself towards action. So if you have an idea that it fits within your goal, you should take action on that immediately, okay? I'm like, oh, I think this might be a good video idea. Let me just make that video. Why don't I just make that video? Why do I write it down and then wait, 2 or 3 days, and then maybe I'm like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea? Should I do this? And then I go ask my girlfriend, I'm like, should I do this? And then I go ask somebody else who knows YouTube, and I'm like, you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is a good thumbnail? What if I just fucking made the video and posted it, right? That would give me certainty. Then I would know whether or not the idea was good. Then I would know whether or not I should make more of those videos. Then I would know if that format works. Then I would know if that thumbnail works. Then I would know if my delivery got better. Everything would be answered if I just took more action, right? So take more action. Stop sitting around being worried about things, about whether or not they will work. People do this with everything. You could be like, oh, I want to lose some weight. Well, what if I can't make it to the gym? What if I eat the wrong things? What if I don't know what to eat? What if you just fucking started doing it and then worried about that shit when, you got to that bridge? There's a reason that's a phrase. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Why don't you not worry about the bridge you need to cross until you actually get to it, okay? And I constantly have struggled with this my whole life, okay? My whole life, I worry about stuff constantly that just does not need to be worried about. I overthink constantly. It's so painful, okay? In Buddhism, there's like this idea that you suffer twice. You suffer the thing twice because when the bad thing actually happens, you suffer the bad thing. But worrying about it every moment up until then or after it, you suffer it more. And you can just alleviate all of that extra suffering by not thinking about it, by not worrying about it. So I think a great way to not worry about stuff is to just do more things. There's less to worry about if you do more stuff. It sounds so simple, and it is. It's just not easy. At times, it's even really painful to do more stuff, okay? But frankly, I think biasing yourself towards action above all else will alleviate a lot of that uncertainty because you'll never know if it's going to work. You simply can't know if it'll work. There's no way. I'm sorry to tell you, I have done a lot of stuff in life, and I promise you, there's no way to know. There's no way to know if it'll work out. There's just no way. You can't possibly know. You can't possibly know. I'm going to say it one more time. You cannot possibly know if things will work out, right? But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them. That means you should do more stuff because then you will know if it works out. And if you constantly stop yourself from doing things because you're worried stuff won't work out, you'll live a very boring, uninteresting, lame as fuck life. And who the hell wants that? Nobody. People who sit in the same spot for their entire lives are people who are afraid to do things. They're afraid to change. They're afraid of what will happen, of what won't happen, of what might go wrong. And frankly, it is terrifying. I'm afraid recording this video, right? I'm trying something different. All of my other logs are not really like this, okay? But I'm here doing it anyway, because I know that if I do it, I'll get some certainty. I'll figure out if doing things this way will work. I'll figure out if I should do things like this more often, I will find certainty through action. And that's frankly one of the most important lessons I've learned in my life is that certainty comes from action. It does not come from thinking. And hell, do I fucking love to think. Do I love to think about shit? Do I love to sit here for hours and rack my brain about, what if I uploaded this video? Or what if I tried this? You know, what if I did this stuff that might work? What if I'm doing stuff wrong? Constantly. Just a constant barrage of thinking about shit that results in nothing getting done. And you know what happens? By the end of all the thinking, I have accomplished nothing. Nothing has changed. My life is no different in any way because all I did was think. I didn't actually put anything out into the world. I didn't actually get anything done, okay? Thinking is useless like 99% of the time, okay? And this is the reason that people who are dumber than you are more successful than you because they don't think about shit. They're dumb, okay? They're stupid. They don't think about stuff. They don't have self-doubt. They don't worry about it. They're overconfident. They just go into it with their best idea and they don't have many ideas because they're dumb. And then they get the shit done that's dumb and they succeed more than you because you're smart and you're constantly worried about like, oh, what if, you know, this thing that the dumb person would never possibly think of because they're too stupid to even realize it, you worry about. And half the time it doesn't even happen. And this is an endless loop that you can go through for your entire life. But at some point, you got to snap out of it if you really want to live and realize that most of the shit that you think about is useless. Most of it won't happen. And if it does, you'll handle it. Okay? What choice do you have but to handle it? You'll figure it out when you get there. Stop trying to plan ahead so much. Stop trying to come up with a perfect strategy and just get shit done. I promise you, you will move the needle 100 times more by actually taking action on your horrible idea than trying to come up with the perfect plan. And it's not like this is new advice. I've heard it a million times, but frankly, I don't fucking listen for some reason. I can't seem to listen. I sit here and ruminate for hours over the same strategy, trying to figure out the absolute perfect way to do stuff. And it's because I have nothing else to do, frankly. I have nothing else to do. So find more shit to do. That's what I need to do. And that's what I've done. Instead of thinking about what I should do tomorrow or all night, I just streamed instead, okay? I found something to fill that time, and I suggest you do the same. Find something to fill the time, okay? Find something that will stop you from thinking, that will chill out. Disconnect from the work, right? Have an idea, a simple idea. I will upload a video every day. I come up with an idea, I make that video, I see how it does, and when I'm done making videos for the day, I should quit thinking about making videos for the day. Whatever you're doing, quit thinking about it when it's not work time, okay? That's another huge thing you can do to alleviate a lot of that overthinking. Separate your time clearly. When you're working, you're working. When you're not working, you're not working. And working includes thinking about work. It includes ruminating about the shit that you're supposed to do, the shit you could do. Stop doing that, okay? Separate the time. Separate the time from each other. Just please stop worrying about it all the time, okay? From someone who constantly worries about the strategy and the plan and trying to do the right thing so that I get there as fast as possible and I don't fall out or whatever, you know? It's exhausting, frankly. And when you exhaust yourself thinking about stupid, pointless bullshit that doesn't move the needle, when it actually comes the time to move the needle, you don't have the energy that you could have had to do it. And you show up not at your best self because you spent all of the energy you could have had thinking about stuff that doesn't matter. And there you go. There's my rant about overthinking. And hopefully there's some value in there. Let me lay them out clearly at the end here. Again, things I do to overthink less. First of all, bias towards action, okay? When I think of something, just do it. Just try it because certainty does not come from thinking. It comes from action. And then 2, separate your time, okay? Separate your time. Do not work while you're not supposed to be working. Don't think about work when you're not supposed to be working. When you work, you work. When you not work, you not work, okay? Very simple. And then finally, find something to do in the meantime, okay? Patience is what you can find to do in the meantime. Just be patient, okay? It's going to take more time than you probably thought. So find stuff to fill your time so you don't fill your time with thinking about the work, okay? Because you cannot think yourself into the perfect plan. You can only discover the perfect plan through action because right now you have a knowledge gap, right? If you didn't have a knowledge gap, you would just know the perfect plan. You would just know exactly what to do. But frankly, nobody knows exactly what to do until they've already done it, right? That's the hard truth. So you're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it blind. You're going to have to do it scared. You're going to have to do it uncertain 24/7 that shit will not work out. But just do it anyway. And I promise you'll be happier. Just try it. All right, there's my rant. Thanks for watching. Love you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.